Okay, wir können starten. Es warten schon 3 Leute.
Hui! Ja, aller Anfang ist schwer.
So, wir sind live. Hello, today I have a special guest. I don't have a bimbo here, I have a bimbo artist here. And do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi
So,
everyone. Some people may know me as Amaz2k12 or Jim. I'm a breast expansion, transgender, and Bimbo artist, mostly on dev art, now on Patreon too.
woo, nice that you're here today. It's so cool to have an artist here and to talk about artist stuff and to have like normally I just had girls, I had bimbos here, and it's so cool to have like also like not the opposite but something different than always bimbos. Even it's about bimboification, it's cool to have like different guests here. So thank you a lot that you're here today. And we have the first question I ask everyone at the beginning because inclusion is very, very important in bimboification, and that's the reason why I ask you what pronouns should I use for you?
Uh, Definitely he. Also,
Okay.
I'm a fully man.
Okay, that's great. So, we have 24 people already here. Woo! Thank you so much for watching the stream.
Hi
So,
there.
so do you want maybe start with you already introduced yourself, so we maybe start with why do you have your name Amaz2k12?
Well, it's a long story. My first name was Amaz2k12 back in 1969 on Yahoo Groups. And as DeviantArt was founded, I choose that name firstly. But after many years and many pictures and comics later, DevArt banned my old profile. And so I had to choose a new name. And so I took Amaz, the first 4 letters of Amaz, and the year where it happened. And
Ah.
this was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And Amaz or Amaz is a nickname from my old role-playing time,
Mm-hmm.
as I played role-playings like The Black Eye, and there is a demon lord, and that is Amazavos, the
Mm-hmm.
lord of craziness.
Ah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool because bimboification can be quite crazy.
It is. It is. It truly is.
That's super. That's super. We already talked before the stream that it's super hard sometimes to find a name. So I had many different names. I started like with Bimbo Bunny, Honey Bunny, everything with Bunny, and I ended up with Jessie Bunny. And I hope it stays like with Jessie Bunny. But it's super hard for it was super hard for me to find a name. And oh my god, unfortunately we can't see it, but I have back there a drawing of you, of me, of drawing you created of me. Just give me a second. I forgot to put it here with me, but it stays every time in my background.
Ooh,
So, I'm sorry, I wasn't so good prepared today, but here I have the drawing Abbas has made for me, and it's so amazing. It's super cool. I'm always so impressed when people can do such things. I mean, like I can draw like child pictures, but I can't draw like that. That's really impressive for me. And yeah, maybe you want to tell us how you become a bimbo artist. What inspired you? How was your way when you started?
oh, 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 that is very long ago. Also, I never studied art or anything else. I learned different jobs, but art or creation of art is something I learned by myself as autodidactic.
Mhm.
And it started back in the early 90s, where I started to redraw the old Zelda from A Link to the Past.
Mhm.
And that was the time where I firstly started to draw with hands and pens, paper. And the years went by, and many years later, I started to create my first drawings on the PC. That was 1969 or 1979, I don't know exactly, um, where I started to create those pictures on the PC. And many years later, as I it became boring somehow for me to draw and create everything per hand, scan it on the computer and redraw it. And so I started to do my first steps in the 3D CGI world. That was what I do now. And I must say it is extremely complicated. The beginning is very easy, but as more you do and the technique you see, umso much it becomes complicated. And today I sit mostly 4 or 5 hours on every single picture before it started to render. And the render process, also that was what you see as final picture, took nearly 10, 12, 14 hours.
Wow.
And after that came Photoshop. Every picture I create is in full HD, and it is overworked. So that the graphics looked nearly photorealism. And that took 1, 2, sometimes 3 days. And
Wow.
for animations, also I plan to create animations soon. It took a whole week.
Oh my god, that's really impressive. That's crazy. I didn't thought that so much work is behind every picture, but it's super cool that you put so much of your heart in these pictures. It's like really impressive to me. Like I can't imagine working so long on a project. That's really crazy, but
Mm.
it's super cool. And yeah, when I ask how did you came to the thing that you draw me, I feel super honored. But yeah, how did you find the motive and yeah, why me?
Why you? Well, it that is really easy to answer. Um, I saw a picture from you. I don't know, was it DeviantArt or was it Boopedia? I don't know. Um, where a picture before and after of you was. Um, and as I saw this picture, I had it directly in my mind. That is something before I start to work on something, I have to see it in my head. And after I saw it, I start to create the complete scene in my mind, and then I project it to the computer with the program overhours. And so is this picture created.
Wow. I feel honored. Thank you again so much. Yeah, for all people who don't know what he's talking about, I had a big change like many years ago, not many years ago, like 2 years ago. I I looked completely different. I had like short hair, I had like a buzz cut, then I had like short black hair. I didn't wear any makeup. I had wear glasses. I didn't have any boobs. So I changed a lot, and yeah, yeah, I'm like a complete new person now. But I love it. I love it. It's
I
like
love it too. As I saw it, um, as artist in Bimboification or breast expansion or in transgender, you often got notes from other people. They wrote, "Hey, I'm a huge fan of your work. Can you do a picture for me or better a sequence?" And I look that and that, and in the early days, I started to work on these pictures or sequences, and in the back time, I found out this people was fouls. They talked, they said they were a girl or a bimbo in spe, but was just another man who wanted a picture. So,
Mhm.
and as I saw your picture, it was, I don't know how I should describe it. It it made bing, and there it
Oh.
was. Yeah. Um, this before and after picture is such an amazing view for me. It is an inspiration.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
you are welcome. As artist, I see it in that way. I work with models like
Mhm.
you, but never talk to them or write to them. I have written maybe with three or four, maybe five models before, and most of them are very short-worded.
Mhm.
You are one, yeah, the only one who really talk. Maybe because we are both Germans, I don't know. Maybe we are exactly in the same line for bimbification or breast expansion. I really don't know, but it was like thunder for
Oh,
me.
I always love to talk to people. I'm a person that can talk like the whole day, and I really like it to talk about bimboification. And there are you like the perfect person to talk about because you're a bimbo artist, and it's always cool to connect with like with many people and to write also with artists who have a different view on bimboification than maybe a bimbo. So I really like it to talk to you. I have a lot of fun, and maybe would like to talk about bimboification, our both favorite team maybe. um, what you talked about my bimboification and that it was good for your drawings,
Mhm.
and maybe you would like to describe like the perfect bimboification.
Oh, the perfect bimbification. Well, it is slowly. Nothing what you should do in a half year or in a year. Um, to become a bimbo is step by step. So, and there is a difference. What is a bimbo? Is a bimbo the typical naive, dumb girl, or is a bimbo that type of girl who love to enjoy her life, her body, and don't care what other people say? And that is something what for me is the perfect bimbo. In my comics, mostly the bimbos are very naive or dumb shells or anything else. But the typical bimbo isn't. She has a true goddess body. Every man would say woo, and she exactly knows it. She exactly knows it how her body works and how she affect men and women. And that is something for me what the perfect bimbofication is. She had to accept herself. Many women have problems in their self-esteem. They say, "Oh, I'm too fat, or my boobies are too small, or too large, or too saggy, or my belly is too big," etc. pp. There are so many um, yeah, thoughts I have heard already, and to be true, it isn't. Uh, every woman can be a bimbo, and every man can be a himbo if you want. But the first step is to accept what you like, what you want to show to other people, and what you feel in your heart. And that is, for me, the perfect start to bimbofication. And then comes the other steps. Should body modification be done. Breast expansion, hips expansion, booty expansion, lip fillers, hair extensions, and so forth. Um, and then comes the next step: how to pay that operations and how to live with that operations. In your last stream, um, you said that Lolo Ferrari is one of your favorites back in the old days, true? And I know Lolo Ferrari from the early days. I have seen her live in the
Oh.
90s, and I remember as she died. And that is something what made me extremely sad. Why? Because she was for me the first true Bimbo in the world. We had Pamela Anderson, of course. Yeah, aber to be true, she had implants and a DD cup for a Bimbo. Is that nothing?
Yeah.
That is nothing. So, and Lolo Ferrari was the first really massive Bimbo, even with black hair. But since these days and after she died, so many things had changed in the way of bimboification or breast expansion, and I'm really happy as artist to see that more and more girls started to live the way of bimbos. Not only girls, some men's too. And why not? Why not? If they feel like that, they should do.
That's so good what you're saying. That's like a really really good thing you say. Like beautification for me is a lot of in the head, and at first, as you said, you have to accept what you want to be. You have to accept what you like, and after that, you can change your body, your look, your makeup, and everything. The first thing is really the mindset, and
Correct.
for me, it's also like a bimbo has to have a rough skin because many, so not like look, a rough looking skin, but more like um, many people will maybe react not that positive to your bimbofication. That's the problem, that you
Mm.
have to hear like many not so friendly things. And that can be really hard, and so you have to be also a strong person if you want to become a bimbo, if you want to change your life so drastic. Like I remember when I changed like from the girl with the black hair and everything to the bimbo, I had many persons who have been very bad to me, and that was really really hard for me, but you have to grow with it. And I think I say it in every stream, but you just live for yourself and you have to be happy with yourself and not your neighbor or anything like that. Not the old man from the street who's looking angry to you when you're walking in your tight top. It's just yourself. You have to be happy, and it's like, yeah, it can be rough at the beginning, but it's really important. It's really important that you it's like you're coming out a little bit if you want to become a bimbo, but it's really important that you are what you like to be, and that you're not hiding yourself. And yeah, that's a main part of bimbofication for me, that you have to come out with that and be proud to be a bimbo, and to have like to go against all the people who are against you.
It
But
truly is, Jesse. It is a very hard way. Even for me as artist, it is on the same. I remember as I started to create bimbos as on drawings. In the first time, I was just a breast expansion artist, and as I started to create transgender and bimbofication, there is a difference from 1 or 2 years between both. I got yeah hundreds of notes from people who say, "I will kill you. What you
oh,
do to other women,
oh
that
my
is
god.
oh." And in the first time, I really was shocked. I was shocked, and I had at this time very hard problems. I was extremely ill, lost a lot of things which was extremely important for me, and that was the first time where I thought about to quit everything. And then I thought it was like a switch in my mind. Uh, no, as more people say, "Oh, what you do is bullshit," and this blah, uh, and that this time I started to learn that it isn't important what those people say or feel or what they say to you. Um, you as model, I see it that often, auch by former models who stopped working as model because they became um, hate views and hate comments and everything else. Um, but that isn't important. That what the people really like. There are always different tastes. Yeah? Some people love women with flat chested, maybe A cup or B cup or double D cup, and other people like really huge knockers. So, um, you don't need to accept that there are people just love flat-chested girls. It isn't important. That what you love and what you enjoy, that you should do, nothing else. Nothing else. And when the people, I know your family problems, we talked about it, and I heard it in your streams too. Um, I know exactly how you feel. It took, at my side, nearly 15 years before I started to tell my parents that I am an artist. Yeah, I have drawn thousands of pictures and comics and very old animations, and my parents never realize that I'm a very known, yeah, artist. As I told the first time my mother that I'm an erotic artist, uh, she looked at me, looked again. Are you sure? Yeah. You are kidding, right? No.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. And do the women that freely or do you have to pay? What?
Oh
Oh,
no.
I create the women. What? You create? You can draw? Oh, um, and as I started to tell them to make it my main part job, uh, oh boy, don't do that. I I really have to say, I'm now 43, nee, 43, 43 years
Yeah.
old, and I have to tell it my parents and say to me, "Oh boy, are you sure you can't live with that?" And I say, "Hey, there are thousands of people who know my work. There are so many supporters who want to support me. Why not? It is my joy. I entertain other people. I really can do it, and I can a lot. Also, I can a lot of things, and I have a lot of hobbies. But the creation of computer-generated images, also CGIs, are my main hobby at the side of gaming. And to talk with my parents about this, it was like an other coming out. Yeah? The first question of my dad was, "Son, are you gay?"
Oh.
No. Not? No. Do you like women? Yes. Why don't you have a women? Buh. And that is something so many people, no matter if it your own family or your friends or people you just know, um, didn't realize what we, no matter if you are a bimbo model or me as bimbo artist,
Mm-hmm.
really do. Yeah? They don't understand that we bring enjoyment to other people
Mm-hmm.
in a way they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something where I hope that this change more and more over the years.
Mm-hmm. It's impressive. I didn't thought it could be so I thought it could be complicated to tell to parents that you're an erotic artist, but it's crazy that to hear the whole story about it. And what do your parents say now about it? Do you talk to your friends or your family about the art, or is it more like you don't talk about it, or how is it going now?
Well, it is my parents, my sisters, and my friends accepted it,
Mhm.
but they accepted it because they don't fully understand.
Mhm.
They say, also they still say that I'm an erotic artist.
Mhm.
Uh, they say I create pornographic content. Well, that is right. As I tried to tell my mother what a bimbo is or what breast expansion is,
Mhm.
the same things that happened before, we started again. A
Mhm.
bimbo? You mean a girl with fake breasts? Nah, boy. Do you really sure? Are you really sure what you do? That is disgusting.
Oh no.
No, it isn't. And
Mhm.
then I mostly tell my mother, Mom, do you know that there are so many young women who enjoy to be a bimbo, who ask me or asked me how to become a bimbo
Mhm.
or which steps are needed to change the gender from male to female.
Mhm.
And I know so many men who are now women's after many years.
Mhm.
So, and as I told it, my mother, she was shocked.
Mhm.
And now, when I talk to her, she say, "Son, it is your business. I don't know. Stay quiet." And that is everything. That
Oh,
is
okay,
everything.
okay. So
Huh?
it's it's
Huh?
still a little bit not really complicated, but it's more like it's the same with my. I don't have contact to my family, but I have contact to my grandparents, and it's the same. Like we don't really talk about the thing I do. They try to ship around the theme and to talk as less as possible about my look or my job or anything about it. So yeah, everyone knows, but no one wants to talk about it. That's like the thing in my family.
Mhm.
And because, yes, you said like many people don't understand that I do, why I do that, and why I have like my second boob job and why I will have my third boob job and so on. And before it goes to any angry discussion about it or anything like that, they more try to not talk about it. But to be honest, it's okay. I mean, like, I would love to talk about it, that they understand me, but it means they are, like, old, and it's okay if they don't want to have all the trouble, and, yeah, but
They
it's,
don't need to understand you.
yeah.
My youngest sister is 28 years old.
Mhm.
There is a time between 14 years of my youngest sister and me.
Mhm.
And as I showed her one of my pictures, she was exactly so shocked. as my mother, exactly the same as young woman. Father, you can't do this.
Oh.
Oh, and then I said, why not? Why should I care? It is enjoyment. It makes fun. People love to see it. And I know so many other people who also enjoy it. And it is the same on your side. When
Mhm.
your family uh, speaks through the flowers, also durch die Blume sprechen im Deutschen,
Mhm.
uh, and try to ship around your modification, then it is not really important because it is your life, it is your body. And if you have boobs one day the size Lolo Ferrari had, also real beach balls, uh, then it is your choice, not
That's
that of
right.
your parents or grandparents or anyone else. It is your thing. And that is something was many people don't understand. And it is exactly the same why people like us, you as model or I as artist, become so often hate speech on the internet. No
Mhm.
matter what we do, there will always be people who mock around. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, to say, oh, you are pervert or you are a whore or slut or anything. Uh, well, let them talk. Um, right now, if someone wrote to me or say to me, you are a pervert, fat, ugly boy, then I say, yeah, and I enjoy it, what I am. And this is something what everyone who is active in our society should do. Enjoy and live.
Mhm.
Nothing more.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're saying it really, really good, and it's really important to say that and to hear that, and that's just great. Like, I mean, like me in short form, I always say like you have to live for yourself and not for other people, and yeah, it's really like your family may not understand it, but they have, yeah, it is like that. And they can't change you and they shouldn't change you because you
Good.
have to be yourself. And maybe when we talk about purification, that it can be like complicated to tell the family and friends and also bimbo art. Maybe we talk about bimbo girlfriends. Would you like to have a bimbo girlfriend, or would you prefer to have like a normal girl as a girlfriend?
Ooh, well, it is a dream for me as artist because every girl is an inspiration. And if that girl is an bimbo or will become a bimbo, it is even more an inspiration for me. That could be yeah, a perfect partnership.
Hmm. Oh, that's
Um,
great. That's cool.
how she should look? Well, my tastes are different. I really prefer huge fake boobies.
Hmm.
Naturals are okay too, but implants are my absolute top favorite. I'm a typical boob man. And the final cup size, I really must say, my absolute favorite is treble M. Also, it is
Huge.
massive. It is really huge. It is not as huge as Shelter Charms or Be Shine. They have triple Z, but triple M, or yeah, it is amazing. And hair color, well, I really must say I have a strong weakness for platinum blonde.
Hmm.
That is an absolute eye-catching for me. Also, natural red. Um, this strong ruby red or blood red is nice too, but it is too strong in my eyes. A natural copper red, platinum blonde, perfect. Yeah, waist. She should be athletic. She should make sport to stay tuned. Because I once was, for many years, really, really fat. And I lost alone in the last 2 years nearly 65, 70 kilogram.
Wow, that's
And
impressive.
thank you. And every day I do around 3, 4 hours sport, exercising, mostly in the morning. And it is something I want also from my girlfriend, that she is active too, not as much as I, but she should keep her body in form and waste everything else. Okay, there will immer a little bit fat. It is not normally, and hips. Well, um, she shouldn't be like I don't know the word right now.
What do you mean?
Thin
Maybe you talk say in German. Maybe I know the word.
Bohnenstange.
Um,
Sie soll nicht wie eine Bohnenstange so dünn sein.
not to skin like a stick.
Like a stick. And she should have womanly hips and a perfect matching booty. As I saw your video about your Brazilian butt, it was amazing. It
Oh.
was amazing. Um, in that moment, right now, I work on 2 comics for my Patreons, and in as I saw your video, I got so many ideas for future comics or sequences uh, just because I watched that video. And that is something what I hope to have with my girlfriend if I have one day a girl on my side. Right now, I don't have the last 16 years, but it is as it is. And who knows what comes. That is my ideal, ideal bimbo girlfriend, if she is in Bimboification. What my family would say, it would be very, yeah, I was born for trouble, to be true. Um, my parents would mock around for the first 3, 4 months, and then they would accept it. My sisters would accept it earlier. My grandma, who is extremely important for me, would say, "Oh boy, are you sure? Is that the girl you really like? Well, okay, then it should be." That would be my grandma. Um, but even if they would say no with that woman, no, uh, I really have to say I would not care. I would not care. Why? Because it is my life, and nobody knows what the life will bring in future. And if that girl is exactly at my side, also stands by me as I should stand by her side, uh, then I don't care what my parents or friends or anyone else would say about my bimbo girlfriend.
But it's good. It's great. Like, yeah, as you, we are at the point again that you have to live your life for yourself. And I mean, like, I can understand that the family maybe at the beginning, maybe are like, um, it's the same when I meet new people. So even it's just when I'm going to friends who live at their parents, it's
Hmm?
sometimes like, oh, okay. That people are a little bit like confused when they see a person with all the plastic surgeries and so on.
Mm.
But before I forget, Ray has written two words for like, as you said, Bohnenstange, like a beanpole or skinny as heck, and he also asked a question, and the same question we have also in our question board. And before I forget it, because Ray said he has to leave, maybe we can answer this question before that. What does he prefer to use in his in his art? Blonde, brunette, or redheads? So
Oh,
not.
mostly blonde. Mostly blonde. Also most girls I create uh, become earlier or later, mostly earlier, complete blonde girls. Even if they are red-headed, they become all blonde. It's a matter of time.
Oh, I love blonde hair. Blonde hair is for me the best. I also had a natural chopper tone, to be honest, in the past. It was like when I have worn a wig. So at the beginning of my Instagram and YouTube, I always worn a wig, but I had copper red hair to this time. I wanted to try something new. It wasn't my thing. I'm more the blonde type, I think, but it was cool to experiment a little bit with the look. So, but not for, I don't know. I'm not a chopper girl. It don't fit to my skin because I have more a little bit like an olive tone in my skin, and I think blonde is best for me. I love blonde.
It truly is, as artist, it is extremely great for me as artist because I have an extremely good eye for womanly measurements. So I could say every woman what for a bra she needs just by looking at them in real. Also, and it is the same for types. Um, as I saw your before and after picture, brunette or dark blonde isn't a hair color for you. It doesn't suit you. And the blonde looks great. It looks amazing. But I think maybe over time that your white blonde should be a little bit whiter, completely platinum blonde.
Oh, I
In
would love
combination.
to, but my hair is too broken for that. My
I know.
hair, it's hard. It's super hard. I mean, my dream would be like nearly completely platinum blonde white hair, but
Yeah,
it's super hard because I have nearly natural black hair,
yeah.
and it's super hard to bleach it like that. And the problem is, I use like Olaplex. That's like a treatment that's like the best treatment for your hair you can use. And I try to take care as much as possible about my hair, but I have a really thin hair. That's the problem. And
Mhm.
even I try to bleach as careful as possible with a lot of supplements. That's the nicest thing my hair can do without getting
Old
um
women's hair.
yeah,
Thin
like old
and
woman's hair.
bleachy.
I thought like in Germany it's like sauerkraut, like crowd shaped hair,
Mm.
like not looking beautiful anymore. That's like it's super sad. I'm always jealous on the girls with like natural blonde hair who just have to bleach a little bit to get completely white. Yeah, but
Well,
it's sad.
maybe I have a solution for you. A good friend of mine also toned her hair many times. And she went from black, raven black haired to completely platinum blonde. She used, I have to ask her which product she used, but we did it together. I helped her to massage. I can extremely good massage with my fingers to massage this stuff onto her hair. while she was sitting there like a dog, like a doggy, and I wee. And as a final result, even it was for 1 or 2 weeks. It didn't hold long to be true. She was completely platinum blonde. It looked absolute stunning. Yeah,
Oh my
and
god.
maybe I will note it for me, and I will ask her tomorrow, and maybe it is something for you.
Oh yeah,
You
that
can
would be
you can
great.
use.
That would be really great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Werbemittel. So.
But we have to go a little bit back to the questions. We
Hmm?
have still many questions we have to talk about, and we're already talking like 45 minutes, but it makes a lot
Oh,
of fun to talk to you. I have a lot of fun, and the time is running. The time is running too fast when
it
we're.
is. It is.
What else do we have that I don't forget anything? Because it's like cool to talk to a bimbo artist, and when I have the chance to make like the interview with a bimbo artist, I should use everything. So before that we can have like more a question again to the bimboification. What do you prefer? Are you more a booty or a booby guy?
Oh, well, that is easy. I'm a typical boob guy.
Ooh.
Boobs. Booty is nice, nice to have, nice to fondle, but there is nothing without boobs. Absolutely. Also, the first look as man are the eyes. I truly look firstly in the eyes, and then I look, mostly not directly, to the cleavage to see what type of boobs the women have. Some mock around, some accept it, others don't like it, but what do I care? I'm a
Okay.
boob guy.
I love boobs too. Like, I can't wait for the expanded implants. I can't wait. Tomorrow I will call the doctor again and ask him if he have any news. So maybe we can finally make an appointment for the surgery because we're still waiting because of the brand of the delivery of the implants. But I will tell everything in the YouTube video about it when I have news. And let's talk again about your drawings. How do you draw? Which program do you use, and do you draw on a tablet or how's it going?
Well, I used a tablet back in the days, also many years ago, before I started to create CGI pictures. And to create CGI or 3D pictures, I mostly use DATS 3D. Uh, it's a very easy program in the beginning, but it becomes very fast complicated if you dive deeper into that program. Maybe you know other CGI artists, maybe Dawn Lab. Um, he is, in my eyes, a complete professional. He can really make things I just dream of. I would love to create pictures, comics where the boob flesh overflow the top or where the buttons pop off the shirt. Uh, he can do that, or she, I don't know what she is, but I really would love to use that too. Also, I use extremely often Photoshop. Every picture I created will overworked in Photoshop and different little programs to add props or closing items or to create textures where Photoshop is too uh, bitchy, to say that. And there are so many things I daily use to create a picture, and then the people see it and say, "Way, great," but nothing more.
That's super super cool. That's super interesting because I'm really bad, as you maybe know, with technician. I'm like super like, oh my god, not good in it. I mean, I draw also sometimes, but not really good things. And I use an app for my iPad,
Mhm.
so I think it's not a competition. I can compete with your skills and your programs, but it's super cool to hear all that from you, and maybe hear someone in the chat who's maybe also like that's interesting for their own future, for their own inspiration, because everyone has to start with anything, and I think it can be cool to hear something from an expert when you're in a beginner, like maybe any advices. That's super cool. Do you
Many
have?
artists, sorry, many artists I know started because they watched my work. They asked me over notes, mostly deviant art, hey, Jim, how could I how could I create pictures like you do? What is the way? And some artists started like that. They saw my pictures, liked the pictures or comics, and asked me. It is very important. Just ask. If there are questions, I'm always, mostly, I give an helping hand. It is something I always have to do.
Mhm.
And if the people ask, I help if I can.
Mhm. That's amazing. That's so cool. It sounds like a supportive community. When
It is. It
Oh, that's
is.
great.
The Bimbo community or the breast expansion community, also the transgender community, is, uh, to say it very simple, one complete community. And many people support each other, no matter if you are a bimbo in training, also a becoming bimbo, or a fully developed bimbo, or an artist beginner. It is extremely important to speak each other. And if someone asks, why not? Even if this person become ein Kontrahent,
Mhm.
someone who can gain more views or fans as you self have. But that isn't important. It isn't important if some bimbofication artists have 100,000 followers or just 10,000 followers or 1,000 followers. The work is the important thing. To
Mhm.
show the message, that is the important thing as artist.
Mhm. That's cool. That's super cool. We just got a question from the chat
Hmm?
from Mogelkaiser 187. Do you both have bimbo inspirations or idols? And that's a good question. Maybe you would like to answer it first?
Yes. Well, my first bimbo was, as I said before, Lola Ferrari.
Mhm.
As she died, um, there was many girls who was becoming after them. And then the next big idol for me for Bimboification um, was Daphne Rosen, an American bimbo model. I recreated two or three pictures with her. Some looks very similar, others not exactly. Then there was Jenny Pusin oder Pusin. I really can't say her last name.
Mhm.
Canadian model. Yeah.
Mhm.
And now there are you.
Oh, that's cute. That's for me like I don't have like a woman where I say I want to become like her, but a style I really really adore from the curves, from the whole look. It's like for example Candy Charms. I really like how she's looking, and that's direction I want to go like in. I mean, I want to have like bigger boobs because I want to at least break the border to have the 4,000. That's important for me. And yeah, but I like her style. I like how she's looking. I like the booty. I like the nose. That's a bimbo that's like has been really important for my direction because she's
Can,
always have been like, oh my god, she's so beautiful, and I always want that. That's like we're also one of the first bimbos I was in, not in contact, but the first bimbos I have seen because she's quite famous and yeah.
yeah, Candy Charms is really amazing. She is not my favorite, well, but I really enjoy pictures with her. There are so many women which looks amazing, which changed over the years, and I hope that there will many more women coming in future. But right now, I'm happy how it comes.
That's right, but I think there's Bimboification is like going bigger and bigger with the years. Like it's getting more accepted, and that's great. But another question I have around your art, because you're drawing also many male to female comics, and
Yes.
maybe you would like to talk a little bit about this theme. So, what inspired you to draw like male to female model art, and how did you came to the theme?
Oh, it was 20 years ago in the early 2000 years. Um, it was firstly a request. Someone sent me a note. Was it over DeviantArt or was it? I don't know. No matter. It was a request who asked me, Amaz, I want to become a female, but I can't worth it. Mhm. Can you create a picture? Well, why not? I can create a picture. Yeah, but I want to see me as female. Oh, okay. Before, I never created a transgender picture. I never had to do much with this fetish before that time. And after created it, I feel okay. It was something unfamiliar uh, to create it because it combines different types I really, really love. Breast expansion, hair grow, hip grow, S grow, shrinking, also shrinking female. Um, Amazing. Why not? And over the years, so much, yeah, interest came into this that fetish, or yeah, scene that I added it to my list. And right now, there is no comic over the last 5 years, maybe one or two, uh, without transgender. It is at the time so that many people who wanted to start uh, their way, their transition from male to female, who ask me. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm a regular guy, and they ask me, "What should I do to become female?" And the first thing I mostly answer is, "Feel it. If you really feel to be a woman, then start to work in that way. But firstly, feel it. If you don't have the feeling, don't start it." And that is mostly the first answer I give them. And over the years, right now, I 15, 20, yeah, 15 or 20 people around. I know exactly who fulfilled their transition. And there are a few who, well, looks stunning. There are always signs where you see it was a male before, but everything else, well, amazing, amazing. Also,
That's
and
cool.
yes, it is. And there are so many improvements. The medicine had made since the early days back in 1990, 2000, 2005, or 2010. Um, I know one woman, she is right now 58 years old, also nearly here 60 years. And she became a woman because her wife became gay. She said to her, "Honey, I love women." And her husband says, "Well, okay, then I became a woman."
Oh.
And this man, over 50 years old, started a transition. And I'm not weak. I have very broad shoulders. But against him, I'm a puppy. I'm a puppy. He was a hard worker in the steel industry. He has, he had muscles, uh, incredible. And now you see women with such a shoulder, but completely female. Breasts, hips, ass, everything. Even the speech. Okay, you always hear from the voice that it was a male voice. But there are so many female aspects at her side. A personal friend for me is the same. He worked in the car industry for many years, and I know him since childhood. And as he told me, Jim, I want to become female. What? Yeah, I want to become female. Okay, good. Maybe I can help you. What? You can help me? Yeah, I know the productors, and maybe I know which hormones and what you should do. And he had his operation to become fully functional, fully women was in January, this year, and she is absolutely happy. Uh, had you talked to me 20 years ago that this man will become a woman, I had laughed. I had laughed. I had deeply from my heart. I had laughed. I had never expected that this guy became a female. But as I saw her, uh, I looked and just said, "Oh my fucking gosh." That was my first four words I had to say to her. Yeah? Uh, okay, small breasts, not that big booty, uh, but the complete, yeah, figure. There is everything that quite female. Huh? To remember that this female former was a guy, unbelievable, unbelievable, and to know that I helped her became that girl, amazing, just amazing. And with my art, I do the same. I try. Well, most of my art is not only pornographic or sex. Well, it is very less of sex to be true, but most of my work have science. There are always signs in my pictures about this lifestyle, to live as bimbo, to live as new women, or to start or to become a woman, or to become a bimbo, or to uh, increase the bust size, or to increase the booty size. There are so many signs in every picture. Even in your pictures are signs. Most people didn't see those signs, but they are there. And sometimes I often say, uh, be proud to change. Be proud about your implants or be proud to become a woman if you want to become a woman, or enjoy what you have. No matter if you are a fatty or no matter if you are well trained, it isn't important to do what you want to do and do it. Nothing else.
Yeah,
Always every picture.
that's right. It's super cool to hear that you are so connected with trans women, and you have so many, that you are so much connected also to doctors. That's crazy, and that's super cool. And for the question connected to your art, is it harder to create an trans bimbo with the transformation, or to create a biological woman? What is easier? What do you like the most?
Well, mostly I love to create natural woman. It is easier for me to think about it and to see the way I want to change this women.
Mhm.
It isn't, maybe I used the wrong words, I don't know, but it isn't also complicated for me to turn a man into a woman
Mhm.
because the program and the add-ons I work with make it really, really easy. But every comic I create tell a story, and
Mhm.
I am a perfectionist. Everything I do have to be perfect. Before it isn't perfect, I don't upload it. And so it is with the male to female transformation comics. Um, I often create pictures, overwork these pictures, form the page, the final page, and then I see something, mostly an extremely small detail in this picture or page I don't like.
Mhm.
Mostly around the hair or the facial change, uh, and I delete everything. I start at the beginning to create this male as female new. I often see by other artists that they change the figure from male to female just with one picture. There you see, okay, it is clearly male, and the next picture, okay, it is clearly female with male attributes. And that is something I don't like. I need to change this male to the perfect female. And this is hard. It is really hard because you need to calculate or to simulate everything. And this simulation need a lot of time. You can put womanly clothes on a male character.
Mhm.
You can do that. But you have to calculate those clothes that this fall in the way normal clothes would fall. You see in so many CGI works where a gap is between the breasts or where the clothes are stuck under the breasts. You see that in so many pictures from other artists, and that is something I don't like. And this is why everything need to be simulated, and every simulation of clothes needs time. The minimum is 10 minutes, the maximum are 2 hours.
Mhm.
And in that time, your PC, also my PC, isn't usable. I can't do anything else. And this is something what I try to reduce. And every transgender scene I create is in different steps:
Mhm.
penis shrinking, balls shrinking, vulva forming, widening hips, facial change, and everything else. And this is something you always see. And even with my perfectionation in work, there are always mistakes I see after I uploaded the comic.
Mhm.
And every time I see it, I I could. explode.
Oh no. Oh
But
no.
to keep it short, I love it to create natural women, to bimbify those women, but I also enjoy it to make male into women and those women into bimbos.
But I mean, I don't know the problem with the drawings. I
Mhm.
know more. I just know the problem when I have like a really good photo for my Instagram, for example, and I really love this picture, and then I post it, and then I see like, oh, there's a hair on my t-shirt, or
Mhm.
there's a lash and the lash is not fully glued, and there's
Mhm.
a little gap between the lashes and the eyelid, and it's always like a situation where you could like, oh my god, I hate everything. It's super annoying when you
It
think
is,
like it's perfect and you couldn't change it. You had to go back to the area to make the photo, to have the hair, the same hairstyle and everything, and you can't get there back.
correct.
It's super annoying. It's
It
like,
is. It is. But the picture or the page is out. You can change it. And in the first time, also the first years, I always need years to accept something. In the first years, I really was pissed. Now, when I see it, I'm mm, grumpy. I would delete it. I would love to delete it, but I don't do delete it. I stay it. I let it stay, and then I see how the people react, and I see that most people don't see it. While I see it, most people don't recognize it, and that is something where what I'm still learning for me to accept that even I create mistakes and that these mistakes are not important, but it is.
yeah, no. I think like when you're the creator, you always like you see more mistakes than like a normal viewer is seeing, because
Mm,
you're like super criticizing yourself. And I
mm.
think but it's not that bad if you do that, because you have a like a good end product when you're like strict with yourself and not like, oh, it's not important if there's a mistake. It's good to be like a little bit like, oh, I don't want to have a mistake. It's better than like, oh, I ignore it.
I think that most artists, also professional artists, are perfectionists. Um, you can't create one mistakes after another mistakes. It is uh, there will someone who will see this mistake, and so many people recognize it first time someone said it. If someone on your Instagram profile looks, oh, Jesse, look at your lashes. The one lashes is longer than the right lashes, or the left boobie is higher than the right boobie. You know there is always someone one who say it somewhere, someone, and people react to this posting, no matter if the picture is years old. I still get questions about pictures I created 2005 or 2000. Why don't is in that? Why don't you create it? Yeah, uh, why is that feature proportional correct? Or why is it too so long or the finger so long? And you say, what the fuck? This picture is years old. Nobody remembers these pictures. And then you see one comment, two comments, five comments, 10 comments, and think, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And that is the internet. And as artist and maybe as model, you described it on the same right now, yeah, a few minutes back. Um, you start somewhere to look at these mistakes. And this is something you start to take in your life. When I see people, I directly see where something isn't correct. Yeah, maybe a stuffed bra with socks, or maybe little implants, 46. I see directly if something isn't correct. Yeah, and I believe that you have the same eye. You see something, maybe on other girls, and you see things for instantly. That isn't wrong. Maybe a sock in the trousers for a penis expansion or something else. Um, but this is something what comes normally over the years, and maybe it is good. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's you just, but the only thing you have to think about that you're not have to get like too focused on your mistakes. That's like also a thing that you are like still trying to not just look at the bad stuff. You have to look also on the good stuff. But we are nearly at the end right now of
Oh,
our interview. the
okay.
time the time was flying. It's
Mm.
like more than 1 hour and 15 minutes right now. I think that was the longest interview I've ever made. But for the end, I have another question for you,
Mm.
and that's: are there any bimbo or any bimbo artists you would like to see here on the interview at another time? Is there
Oh,
anyone you would recommend me?
oh yeah. I could give you a complete list, but I reduced my personal list into two segments of artists. The first segment are artists I personally support in one or another way who create SI CGE pictures. There is Sidri Abyss. Maybe you have heard of him or have seen his work. There is Mr. Phoenix, an amazing artist, even from the back days, from the old days, back days. Um, Dawn Lab, really, really amazing artist for breast expansion, transgender, bimboification, everything else, even muzzle grow. Uh, a Bimbo Lab, also an amazing artist. And then comes the second segment of artists that are the artists who draw per hand. And that is the German artist Schinken. It is really that name, and a really amazing artist. Uh, Young too, and his work is really, really amazing. Then there is Bimbo Anon, amazing work, mostly bimbos or MILFs. Then TF Submission, also an extremely amazing artist. And another German hand draw artist is Power Mogri. He is very active in the hypno scene. Hypno, I don't, yeah. It is not completely my thing to hypnotize someone to say, hey, you want to become a woman and a big boobed women or a bimbo. Uh, Not my type, but he makes amazing art. Um, and it would be interesting to see those people in your stream too with time.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for all the names. Maybe you could write me the names also, because I know some of the artists, but unfortunately not everyone.
Mhm.
But maybe if you would like to send me the names, that I could ask some of them if they would like to be like in one of the next shows.
I
Uh,
will send you.
and maybe you have any last words, anything you would like the persons who are watching the stream. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yes, there is something, and I try to keep it short. Uh, People, enjoy life. Every moment can be your last moment, so don't think about future. Do what you want to do and don't think about what can be or what could be or what was. Do it or leave it. Very simple.
That's great. That's a great last sentence. Thank you so much for being here today. I had a lot of fun talking to you, and was nice to have like the perspective of an artist and not just of a bimbo. Thank you so much for being here. And if you would like to, if there are people who would like to know more about you, where can the people find you?
Well, at first, I have to say thank you for the invite, Jesse. It was really amazing. It was a honor to be here today. And well, most people can find me on DeviantArt under Amaz2k12.
Mhm.
They also can find me on Patreon, also on my English, Für Affinity, where, where I also have an account.
Mhm.
And there are other places where my art was uploaded without my permission, like GE hentai
Mhm.
galleries. There is a lot, but not as MS2K12 with my old name Amaz2k12.
Mhm.
Well, but most work you will find on DeviantArt, and the exclusive art is on Patreon only.
Super. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to everyone who was watching. And if you want to know more about him, check out the sites he's named. And I hope we'll see us in the next stream again.
I
Bye,
hope so too.
cuties.
Ciao!
So, und wir sind offline. Woo!
Wunderbar! Oh,
1000